Die Idee hat er hier gehabt im Bahnhofsbuffet. Dann wurde es in Rio de Janeiro in sein Atelier von Hand geknüpft und dann hier vor Ort installiert. Die Planung und Durchführung dauerte mehrere Jahre. Ermöglicht wurde das Projekt durch die Unterstützung des Künstlers, der Fondation Beyeler, der Wyss Foundation, der Tobacco Indigo Foundation, der Max Kohler Stiftung, der Schweizer Winiger Stiftung und der Erika Stiftung. Einen ganz wesentlichen Beitrag leistet auch der Lotteriefonds des Kantons Zürich, auch die Stadt Zürich, die SBB und eBay. Und 80% der Kosten von etwa 2 Millionen sind zur Eröffnung gedeckt. Für den Rest machen wir ein Crowdfunding mit eBay Charity, wo man für nur 620 Franken ein schönes Kunstwerk von Ernesto Neto erwerben kann, dessen Erlös ganz der Realisierung dieses Kunstprojekts zugutekommen. Außerdem haben über 50 Privatpersonen aus der ganzen Schweiz, halb Europa, aber auch aus Asien, Nord- und Südamerika zu diesem Projekt finanziell beigetragen. Nur in einer großen Gemeinschaftsaktion war es möglich, dieses wunderbare Werk zu realisieren. Dafür danken wir allen, die daran mitgearbeitet und die es mitgefördert haben. Meine Co-Kuratorin Michiko Kono wird Ihnen nun einige Fakten zum Kunstwerk geben, bevor Ihnen dann der Künstler mehr darüber erzählen wird. Ich danke Ernesto und ich danke Ihnen allen für Ihr Interesse und hoffen, Sie werden dafür sorgen, dass die Öffentlichkeit über dieses außergewöhnliche Projekt informiert wird, für das man nicht einmal ins Museum zu gehen braucht, da das Kunstwerk für einmal zu den Menschen kommt. Bitte, Michiko.
Dankeschön. Das leichte und transparente Erscheinungsbild von GaiaMotherTree lässt kaum erahnen, wie viel Arbeit dahinter steckt und wie groß die Mengen an Materialien sind, die für die Realisierung notwendig waren. Die Vorbereitungszeit betrug insgesamt 4 Jahre. Ein Zeitraum, der lang genug für mich persönlich war, um schwanger zu werden, einen Jungen auf die Welt zu bringen, der Anfang dieser Woche 2 Jahre alt geworden ist und perfekt Velo fahren kann. Meine Recherchen vor 4 Jahren haben damit begonnen, dass ich nachgeforscht habe, welche Projekte dieser Größe bereits von Ernesto Neto realisiert wurden und welcher Ausstellungsort dafür in der Schweiz geeignet wäre. Wir brauchten einen Ort, der bedeckt ist, der öffentlich zugänglich ist und der genügend Platz bietet. Wir haben daraufhin diese Bahnhofshalle Ernesto Neto vorgeschlagen, haben ihn hierher eingeladen, haben ihm die Bahnhofshalle gezeigt und er war von Anfang an begeistert. Ihm hat die Idee dieses Verkehrsknotenpunkt sehr gut gefallen und auch die Idee, dass es sich hier um einen Ort, der verbindet, handelt. Diese 2 Aspekte sind ja auch wichtige Bestandteile seines Werks. In der gegenüberliegenden Bahnhofshalle hat er dann erste Skizzen gezeichnet und hat uns anhand eines Baumwollbandes seine Fingerhäkeltechnik gezeigt. Und nach einer längeren Phase der Abklärungen, der technischen und budgetären Abklärungen, startete dann die Produktion des Werkes, die insgesamt 3 Monate beansprucht hat. Es waren 10.220 Laufmeter Baumwollstoff notwendig, die in Bänder geschnitten wurden, die in verschiedenen Farben gefärbt wurden und die dann von insgesamt 27 Personen verhäkelt wurden. Also das Team bestand aus den 10 Personen, die mit Neto zusammenarbeiten und 17 weiteren externen Helfern, die unter den Anweisungen von Neto die Bänder verhäkelt haben. Sie haben einzelne große Elemente zusammengeknüpft oder verhäkelt, die dann auf einer 4 Wochen langen Schiffsfahrt von Rio de Janeiro bis nach Europa gereist sind. In der Schweiz angekommen, wurden dann diese einzelnen Elemente mit einem Brandschutzmittel behandelt. Auch das hat relativ viel Zeit beansprucht mit Trockenphasen dazwischen und Sonntag haben wir dann begonnen, das Werk hier aufzubauen. Der erste Schritt bestand darin, diese einzelnen Teile, die in Rio gehäkelt wurden, hier miteinander zusammenzuknüpfen, zu verbinden und das Werk dann nach und nach hochzuziehen. Das Aufbauteam selber bestand aus einem 18-köpfigen Team, das seit Sonntag intensiv an der Installation gearbeitet hat. Ein Merkmal von Netos Arbeit ist die Anpassungsfähigkeit seiner Werke an die bestehende Architektur. Seine Skulpturen schmiegen sich den Räumlichkeiten an. Er schafft es, ohne die Verwendung von Schrauben oder Nägeln, seine Werke in den Raum zu integrieren. Das ist auch bei GaiaMotherTree der Fall. Es sind insgesamt mehr als 800 Kilo Erde, die in braunen Säcken gefüllt wurden und die rund um das Werk platziert wurden und das Werk in dem Boden verankern. Baumstamm und Krone hängen über die Deckenbalken der Bahnhofshalle und werden durch Gegengewichte stabilisiert. In den Gegengewichten befinden sich insgesamt 600 Kilogramm gemahlener Gewürze. Hier muss ich auch darauf hinweisen, dass in der Pressemappe von 420 Kilo Gewürzen die Rede ist. Das wurde während dem Aufbau korrigiert. Es hat sich während dem Aufbau herausgestellt, dass es mehr braucht, als ursprünglich geplant war. Also es sind insgesamt 600 Kilogramm gemahlener Gewürze, die als Gegengewicht agieren. Im zentralen Pistil hier ist auch Gegengewicht platziert. Hier sind es Samen von Hülsenfrüchten und von Steinobst, also dicke Bohnen, Kichererbsen, Kerne von Kirschen, von Aprikosen, von Pfirsichen, von Avocados, die hier als Gegengewicht fungieren. Der Baum ist kulturhistorisch ein weit verbreitetes Motiv. Er gilt als Symbol für Kraft, für Stärke, für Langlebigkeit, für den Lebenszyklus, für Dauerhaftigkeit. Er ist in den Boden verankert und verbindet die Erde mit dem Himmel. Neto verwendet dieses Symbolbild, wie es auch in vielen Mythen, in Traditionen, in religiösen Schriften, in Gedichten vorkommt, auch hier als Sinnbild für das Leben und verbindet hier auch durch den Titel und durch das Symbolbild des Baumes und durch das Symbolbild der Schlange mehrere religiöse Traditionen miteinander. Einerseits haben wir im Titel Gaia, die personifizierte Erde, die Muttergottheit und gleichzeitig haben wir, die also auf die griechische Mythologie hinweist und gleichzeitig haben wir den Baum, der an die Schöpfungsgeschichte, an den Baum der Erkenntnis, an die Paradiesgeschichte erinnert, der kombiniert mit der Schlange, also der Eingangstunnel ist der Form eines Schlangenkopfs nachempfunden. Kombiniert mit dem Baum erinnert dies natürlich auch an die Geschichte von Adam und Eva und dem Sündenfall. Durch die Kombination von diesen zwei Elementen deutet Neto auf sein Verständnis einer Universalität hin, die er religiösen Traditionen oder spirituellen Traditionen zugrunde liegt. Auf die Spiritualität wird er sicherlich selber später auch nochmal eingehen. GaiaMotherTree ist als Gemeinschaftsraum konzipiert worden. Er lädt Leute ein, hier zu verweilen, sich auszutauschen. Deswegen wird auch ein reichhaltiges Veranstaltungsprogramm mit angeboten. Ein Punkt dieses Veranstaltungsprogramms wird dieses Wochenende stattfinden. Am Samstag und am Sonntag findet die sogenannte Assemblea Mothertree statt, die eine Art Versammlung sein wird, an der Vertreter von indigenen Bevölkerungsgruppen namens Hunikuin, Yawanawa und Tucano teilnehmen werden und die einen Austausch haben werden mit Wissenschaftlern, Aktivisten, Forschern und Künstlern der westlichen Welt. Themen dieser Versammlung betreffen die Zukunft des Planeten Erde, der Umgang mit den Problemen und Lösungsvorschlägen. Dies ist nur ein Aspekt von der Verwendung von GaiaMotherTree, die Neto vorschlägt. Es ist ein Ort, an dem man sich wohlfühlen soll. Das ist ein sehr wichtiger Aspekt von Netos Kunst generell, das Wohlgefühl, das er durch seine Kunst vermitteln möchte. Das körperliche Erleben seiner Werke ist auch ein sehr wichtiges Merkmal. Man soll diese Werke berühren können, man soll sie taktil erfahren können. Er überträgt aufgrund der Fragilität der Materialien auch ein sehr hohes Maß an Verantwortung an den Betrachter und schenkt ihm damit auch sein Vertrauen. Es ist ein Ort, an dem man sich ausruhen soll, an dem dieses Gefühl der Entschleunigung passieren soll. Und um es in den Worten des Künstlers zu sagen, take off your shoes, lie down, take a nap and dream.
Je vais parler en français porque vous comprenez le français. Mais le problème est que je ne parle pas français, ce n'est pas possible pour parler français. It's so good to be here with you. Hey, 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 hey. So welcome everybody to GaiaMotherTree. I'm very pleased to be here, very thankful to Sam and Mikiko beside me and their whole team. Very thankful to the earth, to the Great Spirit, to my mother, my father, my children. Very thankful to all my friends from the art, my friends from the beach, and my new friends from the forest. Very thankful to the guys from Ben May who had worked with me since Sunday. We begin to give place to prepare, to give life to this sculpture. On Sunday. I have to say that it's very funny for me to be speaking so low and knowing that you are listening through the microphone what I am saying, you know. It creates a kind of interface between us. And this is the first time that I'm having this experience, so it's a very interesting thing that we are on the GaiaMotherTree and we have this electronic world in between us. While we are exactly making a sculpture to be able to talk to each other without the electronic world, you know, to give hands to each other, to touch each other, to hug each other, to sing with each other, to smell each other, to dance. But I trust that you are listening what I'm saying, because I was listening what Mikiko was saying, and I feel very alone speaking like that with you there in the other side of the microphone. So thanks to the microphone that's making possible our communication at that moment, and the audio, whatever. But anyway, we had been working with this team from BMA, and I had this feeling. I was talking to Sun today that Sun is the head of the project and BMA is the hand of the project, and I am in the middle of all of it. And when Mikiko and Sun took me here, we went to a bar, and I began to draw this piece because it came right away for me what it was about and what was uh, being desired by the Great Spirit, by whatever, the energy, by the station, by myself, by them. So we never know. But this piece came very clear about me. And I began to draw this piece some months later. And I was working on the computer, drawing there. And when we draw, we think, yeah, because we have this internal counterweight here, and we have the external counterweights. The internal counterweight lifts the center of the piece, and this is very important. And things begin to get together, you know, one thing to the other. The symbology of each part happens to happen. As an artist, I'm used to say that if you have an idea and when you make it, you say, oh, that's exactly what I want, means that why you did that, because you found exactly what you want, what you thought, what the idea you have. The interesting thing is what happens in between your idea and the realization, the art in itself. Because a lot of things happen in this in between. Because the practice, the hand, teaches us. A lot of things on this installation I had realized and confirmed this principle that the hands teach us, fingers teach us. Of course, our mind is together all the time, but the practicing, the thing that you begin to make, teaches us. This work is all made by fingers. You know, had been touched by many people on the studio, had been touched by many people here. The team from Beyeler had learned how to make some crochet. Even Mikiko and Nadine have done one of these, isn't it? One of these cells. The crochet is made by, we made a lot of cells, we put them together, we connected them in 4 points, we spread out, and then we fill the inside of it. So this collectiveness is all around here. And while I was drawing this piece in the computer and learning about that, my son was in the computer. I spent 3 days doing it, and one of these days he was in the computer in a room beside, and he called me to tell me, to ask me something about orthography, about the text he was writing. He's not someone who really likes to write and make homework, let's say. And then I began to read the text, and the text was a story like that. The world is overflow, and there was a boat. There were some boats, and there were some islands. And they were in a boat, and suddenly appeared a little baby, a girl, and they named this baby. I don't know if it appeared. They had an encounter with the baby, and they gave name to this baby Gaia. And suddenly they fall down in a dream, they felt sleeping, you know. And then when they wake up, little Gaia was not there anymore. And there was a branch of a tree. They begin to fall on this branch, and they arrive in a gigantic tree. And inside of this gigantic tree, there was Gaia baby there, laying down. Baby Gaia. And then a voice began to say, hey guys, you gave her the right name, because she is my daughter, and I am Gaia, the spirit of the earth. But, you know, what's the name of it? A lightning don't fall 2 times in the same place. I could not wait it again, you know. I realized that it was part of the name, because till then, the name was MotherTree. What I think MotherTree has already Gaia on it. We don't need to entitle Gaia when we say MotherTree. But Gaia comes to have a name. This MotherTree has a name. In this case is Gaia. Gaia boa Gaia. So this spirit of the earth, this spirit of nature, had been in my work since the beginning. Since then, I am trying to understand the principle, the beauty and the magic of being alive, of nature, and especially think about life, because I feel that we think so much about death and not so much about life. We lose a lot of time of our life protecting ourselves from the death. I mean, of course, we need to protect that because problems are here. Ow! But life is wonderful, and joy is something important. And I begin to do these works that I wanted from sculpture. I begin from sculpture that was like parts of the body, my body or any body, a continuity between the body and the landscape. I always had been working on that. I begin to do sculpture that we could get in, like if we are getting inside of our own body, you know, macro cells, and think the body in this idea of the principle of it, cells. And suddenly, like 5 years ago, I met the Runicuim people at the Amazonian forest, and I participate on their rituals. I drink their sacred medicine, and the sacred medicine of them that they call Nishipan is also called Runi, Kapi. There is many names, but the international name is ayahuasca, which is a fruit of a vine and a liana and a leaf. Liana is the male part, and the leaf the female part. Together, it becomes their teacher, the shaman, the pajé, because this drink tells you, shows you, correct you, enlighten you. So you can. There is many different ways to get the knowledge from this medicine. As deeper you go, or they say that you receive what you deserve. So you can go very deep, and you can stay on the surface. But this is a school, this is a university. And not just the medicine, but how they are connected with nature. So for someone that were thinking about nature, feeling nature since long time, saying words like, I want people to think through their pores. This is something that I have said many times. When I met them, I have arrived on people who have such a connection that they almost talk with these plants, or when they say, is their voice talking. The voice of nature is talking. And this begin to give to me a conscience, stronger conscience of the situation that we are living, that I think is not just me, but many people are arriving in this conscience by many different ways. So this overflow situation of the story of my son is everywhere. People knows that we are here now, and we live in this incredible life, that there was millions of the spermatozoids try to get inside of that egg, and all of them dig together, dig, and one of us got in. Son, Mikiko, myself, we all got in this egg, but our brothers and sisters, they stay in the UAE. So we are us, but we are them too. We are 3 trillions of cells with our DNA, and 1 quadrillion of cells with foreigner DNA. So we are more foreigner than our own self. And we are all the time trying to find out our identity. And, then it reminds the poem. I don't remember very well the poem, but it says something like that from Antoine Artaud. I just say my name, Antoine Artaud, and I felt my body splash in many fragments. And then there is a sentence that had come to me many years ago, that the world from the quantum mechanics, because I want to be astronomer. I want to be astronaut first, when I was a kid. Then I tried to be astronomer, but I failed on the test to get in the University of Astronomy. And then I went to Bahia, and I met a painter, and then I met a girl, and this girl told me that there is clay sculptures at Parque Lage in Rio de Janeiro, and I began to make sculptures. When I did the first one, I said, that's what I want to do in my life. So I'm very pleased that since a little bit more than 30 years, I'm doing sculptures. I'm very happy to be doing this sculpture here now, and to be sitting together with you. But this situation that I was talking about in relation to nature and to all these cells inside of us is a little bit what I'm trying to represent here. and I try to find out this connection that we have to nature that I have found so deep on the indigenous. And it's interesting to know that they don't have the word nature. They have the name of this plant, the name of the other plant. Even wood, when they say wood with a generalized, abstract name, they talk about the wood from us, the wood cutted from us, because every wood on the forest is not a wood. It all has a name, you know. And there is a knowledge from each all of them. And this knowledge is always related to spirituality. And you all know that these pharmaceutical companies, they go there, pick up their knowledge and make medicines and sell the medicines. But what they know is much bigger than that. And what they know is this deep conscience, spiritual conscience to nature. And what's going on with us? We need to kill spirituality to give birth to modernity, to all this science, because our spirituality had been hijacked by the church, you know. And it's interesting because the boa is the conductor in many different ancestralities. For example, boa constrictor, in Portuguese, name is named by the one indigenous tradition, the biggest one in the southeast, where I live, where the Portuguese arrived first. They call jiboia. Jiboia means serpent, what's that? Rainbow serpent. And the Aboriginals, they have a shuringa, a sculpture element that they use, vertical one that they use on their ceremonies, spiritual ceremonies to connect to gods and everything, that they call shuringa. And you know what means shuringa? Rainbow serpent. Rainbow serpent. Rainbow is light. Rainbow is all the colors, but it's basically the light, the visible light. So this is where we are. So we have the boa, we have the serpent, and then we comes for our Jewish tradition. You know, the boa, the enchanted boa, came to Eva and say, Eva, share this apple, this fruit of the knowledge, the fruit of love, unconditional love. Same thing of the indigenous tea. Indigenous tea is the tea of love and the tea of knowledge. And they call the tea of death too, because many times after you drink, you begin to see the world in a different way. You die and you're born again. And Adam and Eve share the apple. If Adam and Eve had not shared the apple, in the Jewish Christian tradition, they will be till today in the paradise. Isn't it? Isn't it amazing? Adam and Eve in the paradise. Beautiful, né? They there, Adam, Eve, and we. Where we would be? There will be no we. There will be no Mikiko, no son, no Neto. There will be tree. There will be Gaia. There would be Earth. But there would be no GaiaMotherTree. There would be no microphone, no earphone. Yeah, it would be cool for them, but not for us. So the enchanted boa brought life to humanity, gave birth to humanity. And this is the new message. This is the message of the transformation world, because the time of revolution has gone. We are in the time of transformation. And this transformation is already going on. That's why there's a lot of people screaming and throwing bombs everywhere and trying to cut as fast as they can the nature, because they know that their time is gone. But we need to stop them. We need to say, hey, my friend, stop cutting that, stop planting soya. Let's make agroforest, syntropic agriculture. On this symposium, we're going to receive a Swiss man. I went to Bahia to invite him, me and my wife, a man named Ernesto Neto. This man is, I said, a Swiss man. He went to Brazil a long time ago and he worked with transgenic seeds. And when he saw the effects of all these pesticides and transgenic things, he ran away with that. And he developed in Brazil something named what he calls syntropic agriculture, where mixing is the point. You mixing the plantation they grow together, they dance together, one help the other. What's happening in Amazon forest? What you all know, there is books, The Secret Life of the Plants, you can read that. You know that the fungi make nets connecting nature under the ground. When one tree needs something, the other send it to them. So this exchange is happening in Amazon forest on the roots all the time. A tree is a hand in the absolutely light, in the total light, and another hand in the total darkness. One hand on the light, and the other hand on the darkness. One hand on the light, another hand on the darkness, and in the middle, life. Isn't it amazing? This is like the graphism indigenous. Light, darkness, light, darkness, light, darkness, light, darkness. And this place that we are living is fruit of it. So Mr. Ernest Gut, born a land in Bahia. People call him stupid gringo because he born a land, a dry land. Nothing would grow there. Now this land has 14 fountains of water, rivers, and it rains more on his land than in the neighbor land. Because he has a sentence that we say, water, we plant. So this agriculture of him, some people can call a revolution, other people can call transformation. And I believe on this transformation. This transformation is now here. So we need to begin to talk to each other, to make this net of transformation, to follow our heart, feel what our heart has inside. Because when we breathe, when it can come down of this avalanche of information that we receive every day, we feel life inside of us. We feel nature. We feel God. We feel the Great Spirit in different languages. Doesn't matter. It's not about religion. It's about spirituality. So we are here today on this ring in the honor of nature, in the honor of the people who are there living with nature, indigenous people all over the planet, Sami people in the north of Europe. I went to Finland. I had an exhibition in Finland named Yube Jiboia Boa. Yube is boa in Hachakun, in Hunikuin language. And I began to talk with a Sami woman because I want to bring, now we're going to have here tonight, there will be two friends of mine, Chana Bane and Sian Chana Huibei from the Hunikuin nation. The great leader Nishiwaka, his wife Putani, and a young man named Peu, all shamans, all pajés, all these people that I'm talking about, student pajé, master pajé, you know, like that. And tomorrow is going to arrive here Álvaro Tucano and Ayara Tucano, father and son and daughter. Álvaro Tucano is one of the main leaders of the indigenous movement who had put very good laws in the Constitution 1998, together 1988, together with Ailton Krenak. Ailton Krenak was the voice. He's a friend of mine, incredible person. And they're going to be here representing this universe. But all the situation of the forest, I was with the Sami people. I wanted at the Kiasma to bring them and the Ashaninka to meet the Sami people, the last indigenous from Europe. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. But when I talk with, they have researches, you know, found people don't really want it because, you know, this is culture, what the indigenous are doing there. Sometimes there is this kind of misunderstanding. But I talked with a Sami woman there, and she told me that the language of the Finnish, which is different from all the Scandinavian, has the same roots of the Sami. And I began to talk with some very great Finnish people that had been in Brazil, speak Portuguese, journalists, you know. And I said, no, because you guys are indigenous. No, yeah, because you have the same roots of the Sami people. No, but this is long time. Yeah, but look at that. You give names for your friends like Tuli, wind, Kiwi, stone. And then she said, oh yeah, I have a friend who have a daughter who born during the falling snow. and she gave the name of her falling snow. This is not Western names. These are indigenous names because absolutely related to nature. Could be in different parts of the world. So there is these people all over the world, and this spirituality is inside of us. There is the Asian people. There is all spirituality. The African people. You know, in Brazil we just studied the Europeans. I don't know if you know. People tell us that we are Westerns. And we grow up believing that we are Western. And I was living in France, and I discovered that we are not Western. Because I received an invitation, again from Finland, an invitation on research, a student researching, asking the fifth question, how do you feel showing in the West? I said, well, at home. Not that I feel absolute, like totally at home in Rio de Janeiro, but where do we feel at home? Yeah? Where is home? But anyway, cultural, very different. Culture separates us, nature unifies. I talk about that later if you want. But, and I begin to ask the people, do you think Brazil is West? No, Brazil no, Brazil no, Brazil not West. And I begin to feel very light not to be a Westerner, even though we study everything about the West. We have university, Congress, all of these structures. But I realize that we don't study the Africans, we don't study the indigenous. And this is a problem for us Brazilians, because we are our first mother is an indigenous woman, and for many years, and the second mother, African woman. But anyway, we are here, and we are together in this planet. The planet is here embroidered on this carpet, and we have these seeds here, a lot of different seeds together. We have this column to the infinite, to the endless, to the flower, to the star, to whatever you want to call, and we have this place where we are. The yellow color of the structure of this skin of the boa, canal, whatever you want to call, is representing the sun, this light that gives life to all of us coming down. The brown part, this khaki part, the earth, you know, the force of the earth, and the green part, the vegetables. So we have the earth here, and we have the sun there. In the middle, we have life, us. And we are here together, and we know that the overflow is coming, refugees are coming too, and if we not balance, now we are unbalanced. If we not balance our society, we're going to have hardcore ecological problems and hardcore social problems. It's already going on, we all know that. And I think with love, we can solve this situation much better than with guns and walls. We can make big walls and use a lot of guns, but it had been limited time, you know. With love, we're going to be able to engage and, dance together, So, but this piece is here at the train station, and I'm saying this now because I think it is a good place just to be. I think transformation, the difference between transformation and revolution is that transformation is something that happens inside of each one of us. And so it's us and the world, us and life, what we want, how we want to be in peace to your own self. If you are in peace to your own self, you begin to be in peace with the others. So we talk about the other, all the news, all the problems that's going on, blah, blah, blah. But with some meditation, some concentration in ourselves, and maybe some spiritual guides, we can feel more comfortable and be more happy. So we have this place here where people can sit down, lay down, sleep. I slept here last night for some hours. I invite everyone to sleep here anytime during the day. I think the station closed, so you are not allowed to overnight here. But maybe you can make a movement to allow you for 1 month to sleep here. We are here. We can dream. So if you guys want, you can do it. Begin to ask the people and say, we would love to sleep at GaiaMotherTree to receive in our dreams, I don't know, maybe message from the sculpture. Art is like that. Art, is a space of dream. Now, there is the artwork and there is ourself. And in between ourself and the artwork, things happen. The invisible, the unexplainable. The art became, on the contemporary society, from the modern society to the contemporary society, the place of spirituality. People don't go to the church. They don't go to the temples. Some people does, but most of the people not. They go to the cinemas, they go to the museums, they go to theater, they go to the concert hall. So art is our conductor. Art is our messenger between the objective world to the subjective world. So that's we are. We are at the invisible, at the art. So I'm saying a lot of things, but I don't know why, because I said to myself that I would not say anything like that. That the only thing that I would say is that this is about relationship. You have this amount of seeds hanging from this hexagonal. From this hexagonal, you have the arms of it who hold the center of the piece. The piece, the art, the sculpture, the tree is counterweighted by the ends of it with the spices to spread the smell. There's not so much smell. I think the train station is very big, but it's there somewhere. You have the earth enrooting us on the ground. And we have this place to be and to spend 1 month. And I want to thank you very much. You, son, Mikiko, and all of you, all your people from the station, all your Swiss society, to had been so generous to invite me to be here now under this sculpture that really had been not so easy to do. It's 2 years of work, and I feel very honored to be under it today. Thank you.
Thank you.